dude in the eye with a pencil in like 7th grade.
Really?
He was just walking around and nobody fucked with him after that. You know
still
what I mean?
know?
No, I just was in like classes with him, you know?
Oh, okay. Why'd he stab him?
He was just making fun of him. He just kept being like... I
What'd
don't
you
want to
call
say
me?
his name, but he would say his name in like this...
What's his name?
It was just Chopin Dang. Yeah. So he'd just go, Chopin Dang! Chopin Dang! Like right in this kid's face. And he's just fucking had his pencil there and
Wait.
stabbed him in the eye.
You gotta stop Asian hate. I should probably delete this.
Yeah.
It was what? So... Oh my god.
No, I feel like this is like an empowering story for...
Yeah, of course. He
Stand
got him
up for
back.
yourself.
It's like this dude Bobby I knew. His name was I know Bobby. Bobby Singh, and he one time he came to advisory, right, and he was like, there's this Asian kid named Sky, but he was half Asian, so mom's Asian, dad's white, but when I say white, I'm talking like firefighter white, you know, like the gay guy in The Sopranos, like mustache, you know, like I do
Middle America.
I do my own fucking contracting at my house, you know what I mean? And NASCAR fan. There you go. Dad's a NASCAR fan in California. So this kid Sky, he's Asian, but he pretty much lives like a white kid and perceives himself as a white kid. So he calls Bobby a sand nigger. And Bobby comes to advisory and is like fucking upset, dude. And he's like, I can't fucking believe he fucking called me that. And I'm like, who? We're like, what? And he's like, Sky called me a fucking sand nigger. And I'm like, and then I heard that. And I'm like, I want to see some shit. And it's not right. So I hype him the fuck up. I'm like, you gonna fucking let him talk to you like that? I'm like, dude, fuck that fucking piece of shit. Like, and then we spend all of advisory hyping Bobby up. And then come lunchtime, Bobby's like, you know, like he's just like doing that shit, and he goes right up. We know where Sky's gonna be, so he walks right up to Sky, and he's like, "What'd you call me?" And he goes, "What, sand nigger?" And he's got like, I don't know if you're 30, you probably remember people used to wear Oakleys and like electrics and like Spies and like Smiths, like nice,
like the super slick, like
$110 expensive sunglasses from PacSun.
Yeah, they're like $200.
Yeah, exactly. From like PacSun and shit.
Yeah.
And he's wearing those, and fucking Bobby decks him, dude, and knocks his glasses off, and then he falls on the bench, and he just starts beating his fucking face in. And we're all like, get him! Get him! Get him! And then Sky's bleeding, and then Bobby gets pulled off, and we just hype him up. We're like, you fucking handled that shit, dude. He can't fucking talk to you like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Sky the whole time was like, you're still a fucking bitch, and like laughing at him. Because he never got knocked out. Yeah. But he was getting his ass kicked. And he's just one of those kids, like, tried to laugh it off. Like, literally blood running down his face and coming out of his mouth. And he's like, I don't see the problem. Like, like dude, he's got mollywopped.
Yeah.
You don't see the problem. And then he, so anyways, he beats his ass, and then Sky tries to brush it off. And, like, within a week, we're all outside, and I think I had 4th period off this time. So I'm leaving, and there's like a group of seniors that leave at that time, and so they're all going to their cars, and I'm looking for a ride out of school. Otherwise, I gotta walk home. I don't drive in high school. My parents were smart. They're like, "You're not driving."
Yeah.
So I'm looking for a ride, and then I get a ride with somebody, and we're walking in the car, and then I hear, "Get him, knock him out!" You know, I'm like, "Oh shit, there's a fight going down!" And we run over there, and all I see is Sky. Same Asian kid. He got his ass kicked Monday. He's back at school. It's Friday. Now he's laid out in the parking lot. I'm talking just like out like a light, dude. He looks like you could have drawn the like body print around him.
Right, yeah, it's just sprawled out.
He's just sprawled out. And I'm like, yo, did Bobby get him? Like, oh. And maybe Bobby's cousin Alan, you know what I mean? Like maybe they got him. And then we go over there, and then we see Sal, the fucking yard duty, riding off with a kid on his golf cart. On the back of his golf cart, it was like, yeah! And it's a black kid named John. And he's like, burr, 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 burr. And he's taking him to the office. Yeah. And he's just like, Sal's like, I gotta take you in. And he's like, all right. He hops on the back of the golf cart, and they go. And then we're like, what the fuck happened, bro? What the fuck happened? Like, how do you knock out Sky? And then they're like, he called John a nigger. And like, dude, he didn't learn the lesson.
Yeah.
And within a week, got knocked the fuck out. Like, you know what I mean? Again. And then I don't know if he...
Probably just hates him more now.
I think he left schools. He might have left schools. I know, he hates minorities even more.
Yeah, because they beat his ass.
He's like, every time I think of blacks, I just see fists.
Yeah.
I just see brown fists coming at my face. And it's like, but dude, the whole thing was like, he was a minority. I understand, I mean, not really in the Bay,
Yeah.
but you're Asian, you know what I mean? And it's like, why are you dropping the N-bomb? Like, people can't easily shit on you. Like, or use, like, really bad historical context against you. And it's just like...
Yeah.
And I don't know. I felt bad because I kind of hyped Bobby up, and then Bobby got suspended. I was like, damn, and his sister got really mad at him, and he got in trouble at home. But I was like, no, man, you stood up for yourself. You can't talk. I thought he taught this dude a lesson, and then he got knocked out again, and I was like, I guess he didn't learn. Like...
Maybe you gotta learn twice, you know?
Bro.
Sometimes you gotta repeat a grade, you know?
I don't know if they do that anymore. I think it's No Child Left Behind nowadays. It's like...
I don't know. When I was in school...
That's kind of how I
they did it
grew
to
up.
me.
Huh? They did it to you?
Not me, but, you know, kids I knew.
They did it to kids I knew, too.
It's like, why is this kid fucking like 4 inches taller than us, and yet he still seems like more of a bitch?
Bro.
Oh, because he's a year older than us.
Exactly.
Yeah, 4th grade.
There was this kid, Billy, that I knew, because we were talking about how old we were. We were in team sports senior year.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, 17, 18, whatever. And then I was 16, right? I'm not even 17 yet, and I'm a senior. And then someone's like, I'm like, and it was like, oh, you're hella young. And then I'm like, yeah, it sucks. And they're all, well, better to be young than old. And then they're like Billy. And I'm like, what? And this motherfucker turns out to be almost 20 years old, bro. We didn't even know. He was like 19 in a deep, like 4 months into being 19.
Oh, man.
And he was like, well, he got his head down and shit, and come to find out. And that's why he's good at sports, because he was a grown-ass man. Playing with...
Dude, those years make a lot of... That's why they have...
Grades.
You know, freshman, JV, and all that shit.
Oh my god, I learned that because I was 16.
Fucking seniors are like...
I'm 16 and trying to play varsity football.
With a 19-year-old.
Right, with grown men, literally. And then I take a year off of school after high school. I pretty much was just homeless and fucking off for a year. And then I try to go to community college and play football. And then I'm manhandling the same kids that manhandled me.
Now
I'm like
out at like 20.
Now I'm almost 19,
yeah.
And I'm bigger and stronger than them. And
yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, you're not like as tough as I thought you were.
Yeah.
Like I learned that pretty quick too, and then, so like my kids, bro, they're gonna be 7 years old in kindergarten. I don't give a fuck. That means I graduated at like 23.
Yeah.
I don't really fucking care.
I'll be
or 19. That would be 19. I would
like
fucking
take your time, dude.
I'd rather my kids be smarter, more mature, more intelligent, better at sports.
Yeah.
Why would I? And you know the whole reason is, and I know why.
They do kind of get the edge, don't they?
Dude, without it, you're an idiot not to. And the whole reason people don't do that is like, well, the reason my mom didn't do that is because she needed a babysitter. This is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I feel like it's like
school is child
has to bring it up, and then the parents have to.
Right, but school is child care.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there and you're single or whoever, and you're raising your kid, and you're like, fuck, I need someone to watch him. And someone's like, he's big, he's 3.5, put him in kindergarten. You're like, all right, like enroll him. So that's why COVID, like when the schools were the first thing to open back up, at least in Colorado they were.
Yeah.
It's because people were like, I'm not paying for someone to watch this thing. Like you gave me 40 hours of free childcare per child.
I make $20 an hour, and I'm gonna have to pay somebody $10 an hour just to fuck.
Dude, I'd be surprised if people make $20 an hour a year. Not people.
No, I was kind of giving like the
benefit of the doubt.
Middle America here.
Hold on. Also, can I get an ETA?
What?
Oh my god, I got people texting me for work.
Oof.
All right.
Grody.
I mean, you can't text me at this time of day. I'm done for the day. But yeah, I'll get back to him.
You just send them I'm off the clock.
Huh?
Just send them I'm off the clock. Oh, that is one of your little go-to. My buddy freaks me out, like, I hit him up. I was like, I had like missed a call, and I was like, "Oh, can I call you later?"
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I called him. He missed it, and he sends back like, "Can't talk right now" or something. You know? I'm
Oh, man.
I'm like, what?
You
I'm
alright?
like, "Oh, can I call you later?" Because we had
Right.
like planned to talk that day.
Right.
And he's like, "Tomorrow." I was like, "Oh shit." He's
Tomorrow?
fucking- something's happening. Maybe he's like getting in some trouble with somebody or whatever.
Right.
And then he calls me like 10 minutes later. He's like, "Oh yeah, I was just sending you like the first thing that came up on my fucking custom. You know, it's like
Oh,
it
what?
has the quick messages." I was like,
Kid
"Dude,
talk-
I thought you were like."
They do that. You're right. The
Trouble,
auto text on
yeah.
Android. Yeah, if you reject a call,
I
it's
never
like,
did
in a
fuck
meeting.
with it. Yeah.
Call you later. Can't talk.
Yeah, and then there's like custom. You know, it's just,
Gun to my head. Gonna need a
I know,
minute.
dude. It's like that
Ki-
sounds.
Call 911.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I'm like my heart dropped a little.
Damn.
Fuck. I
Was
don't
he
know
in
why
the
my heart
program?
dropped a little, but no.
Oh, you just think that way.
No, like he
You're
got
just thinking of doom and gloomy kind of.
he got
oh
in
shit!
trouble with like the law and
Oh.
like, so I was like, maybe it's like
You got in trouble with the law. What is he like?
a
Eric
park
Clapton in
ranger.
Jamaica.
No, dude. I don't know if there's a better way of putting it than, you know, because he's like straight edge. He wasn't fucking like selling drugs or anything. He just wandered onto somebody's property, you know.
Oh,
And the
what?
guy was like
fucked up or camping.
he works for the Park Service, right?
Oh,
So he's like tracks
shit.
moose, and he like reads a map wrong, I guess.
What?
Wanders onto this guy's property, and the guy comes at him hard,
Dude.
and like calls his superior
this,
and
in
gets him
Oregon?
like Montana.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like trying to get him in
you
trouble.
gotta get Ruby Ridged, bro. You're down the
Yeah.
street. You're only like a border away.
No, yeah, dude, he told me there's like militias all over that fucking
Hell
place,
yeah.
but not like the good kind that unite to defeat the British. You know, they're like.
They're just sitting there listening to Q drops. You mean not the ones that stormed the Capitol?
I'm like,
Not, what's his name? The
fuck.
dude in the buffalo hat.
I never want to
So
know
you're
his
talking
name.
like you're talking like Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, like
type of
these
one.
guys are just like.
Militia.
Yeah.
You militia me happy.
Like halfway to fucking. Yeah.
Deliverance.
Yeah.
You know, it was fucked up. My dad used to make me watch Deliverance when I was a kid. He made me watch it. And like the scene you're like wouldn't show a kid. He made me watch that scene.
Right.
And I don't.
Like how
To
old are
this
you
day,
when you see
9.
this? Yeah.
To this day, I still don't know why he held my head and made me stare at the TV and like almost held my eyelids with his fingers.
I'm fucking 30 and
I
I've
don't-
never watched it, dude.
Dude, it's trash.
Like
It's a guy
somebody told me
getting.
what happened. I'm like, I'm good.
It's a dude getting raped, and they're like, "Squeal, boy, squeal!"
Yeah,
And they're not like fucking around, you know. Like when the whole like that scene, like people, it's like hard to exaggerate what happens in that scene.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know why he made me watch it. It turns out, I mean, my sister and other people say that my dad in the end like became gay and like came out and was hanging out at like Russian River and these like gay bars at the end of his life. And I don't know, I mean, he like beat the shit out of me and drank a lot and had a lot of issues. And my grandmother is of the opinion that he had a boyfriend in the army and got caught. And that's why they discharged him. It wasn't weed. Because she was like, everybody smoked weed.
Yeah.
Because they said he got discharged for weed. And she's like, no, he had a boyfriend. And kept getting caught.
That's
And then-
supposedly like.
Making me watch Deliverance and then Brokeback Mountain being one of his favorite movies. I mean, this all makes sense.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain's like one of his favorite movies. I like the sscenery.
That.
Like, dude, when he spits on his hand and fucks another man in the ass, like that scenery, because that was a scene.
Just a big Jake Gyllenhaal fan.
I'm just really big into Heath Ledger. I just think that kid could have been the next one up.
Sad. Very sad.
Very sad. Sleeping pills. Oh.
Oh.
Oh man, but yeah, he made me watch Deliverance. He made me watch Deer Hunter. Made me watch fucking.
Deer Hunter is. He shouldn't have had you watch just because of how fucking boring that movie is.
It's a terrible movie.
Like the fucking you get to the.
Are we gonna pretend
part?
this is a good movie? Yeah, the part where they're finally playing roulette. And
To be fair, I never watched it all the way through, so I'm like.
Oh, when he finally catches up to Christopher Walken, because he's like hunting him down constantly, right, in the movie, because he keeps like having like
only made it like
Vietnam
halfway
flashbacks.
through, so maybe I should give it another shot. But
Oh man,
it was just so boring, dude. Like
all those movies. I can't pretend Taxi Driver is not one of the most boring movies I've ever seen.
it's hella boring. It's good, but it's boring.
Taxi Driver, Space Odyssey. That's not boring as shit. Like everybody's like, oh, it's great filmmaking. I'm like, okay, then I don't like filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like if that's what great filmmaking is, then I'm not into it.
Well, I think half of that one is like.
Fucking annoying.
was
I'd rather
just-
watch Howard the Duck. Like, it's
Yeah.
fucking terrible, dude.
I mean, like, so we had Star Wars already to compare it to, but they didn't have anything. So
I hate Star Wars. I'm not
a
nine.
big Star Wars fan either.
I didn't like it. Okay, it's Star Wars. Like, what was the one with? Oh, Misa Jar Jar Binks. Like
Yeah.
that one was dope. Like it
Yeah,
came out.
everybody hates that one.
I don't know why, because they're all a
It's
bunch.
fucking
Because you
awesome.
guys, because everybody's a bunch of cucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that was the best one. Like the one where you couldn't see the strings holding up the space fighters, and the one where like they're pod racers, and he was like a little kid, and it was like Hope, and like I don't know, it was a
made
good
with computers, not popsicle sticks.
dude. It was a good. I don't when for a fifth grader, it was a good movie. And
Yeah.
that was what they geared it towards, and I think that's what
Exactly.
pissed off Star Wars fans is that it was geared towards children.
like the first one.
Like we're gonna like the first one and second one and third one and fifth one and ninth one weren't.
Yeah.
It's for children. This guy's good. Look at his lightsaber.
They make
It's
most
green.
of their money off of toys. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
exactly.
This
Why
is how
would
much
they-
money was from the movie. This is how much was from Legos.
It's
You know?
literally for children.
It says it on the box.
And then
ages 6 to 12.
And not only that, it's like the obviousness of it. The fact that it's not written with any nuance or depth. It's just like, oh, he's a bad guy. He got the red lightsaber. You know what I mean?
It's very fucking straightforward.
Dude, I
You don't have to think a lot about it.
Oh!
Whoa.
Lightning came out of his hands.
That one was new.
Oh, Yoda's a badass, bro. Did you see him doing backflips?
You know how he's all slow in the first three? In the first three, aren't the first three.
Well,
We don't have to
finally,
go over that.
Bill Gates gets his shit together, and then they finally technology gives him the ability to show you what he's really like. And everybody likes the fucking Chewbacca, and it's just like, "Grrr." It's just like, all right. I liked Fraggle Rock. You know what I mean? When I was 6.
It was hella dope. I've been meaning
Fraggle Rock was dope.
I want to
but
see that just like for the nostalgia of it because I haven't seen it in so long. Is it on HBO?
Pepper
Max?
Jack loved Fraggle Rock.
Pepper Jack love
That's my Wi-Fi. Pepper Jack's best
I
hoe.
know, dude.
You calling me Pepper Jack's best hoe? Now, bitch, you speak when spoken to now.
Well, Pepper Jack.
No, Pepper Jack need to get paid. You're not just gonna come up in here and take Pepper Jack's best hoe.
Yeah.
Bitch, who you with? You with this white girl?
He's
Oh man, that's like
for like 45 seconds.
he's only
Pepper Jack's
it's one
best hoe.
scene. It's one scene under a minute in a show with 32 32 seasons. You know, at least 100 episodes. Because they're what 14 seasons, at least 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're way past syndication, and that's the best scene in the whole fucking show.
I mean,
Pepper Jack
Probably.
need to get paid.
they just underuse. I don't know. So like Cricket and the Waitress and all these guys are like in all the new ones, and they're all great characters.
I think they're all producers.
But you got,
Cricket's a
like, Z
writer
or
and a
whatever.
producer. You got what?
What's his name in there? Z, like Cuddy from.
Oh yeah,
The Wire.
he's in a couple of the later seasons. He's like, nigga, you talking about old black man?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You right over there.
Even
Lamping.
still though, it's like
He's not used nearly enough. We
should
talked
have a
about that
whole
the other
fucking
night.
episode of that.
We watched him in the one where they fucking try and do the bar thing.
Yeah, win
Obviously.
the award. Yeah.
They won a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won an award, exactly.
Yeah, I know the
one
one.
with the one where they're at Fuzzies.
Yeah. Blue.
He's I'm be chatting these fools up like a mug.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, come
When Charlie
on.
starts singing the song, you can just see him through the crowd, like,
Dude, we said it that one. It was like, dude, he's the best part of this fucking show,
Yeah,
and they
definitely.
barely use him.
I mean, he might.
We'll probably go get some food because it looks like the game doesn't start till later. The first game's about to start right now. I didn't
really?
realize that. I thought it was noon and 3:40, not 3:40 and 7. Or whatever.
That's cool.
I don't
Get some
think
food in Denver or what?
yeah. I'm chilling. I'm just
Dude,
gonna go eat down there.
I really only spent like so much time, like a couple of days tops in Denver. you
Oh,
know?
me too.
I always just drive through and
The
I've been
most
to a
time
game.
I spent was when we went and saw Bill Burr.
You saw Bill Burr in Denver?
Yeah, we went and saw Bill Burr in like
What was it?
2017, 2018, 2019. I think it was his most recent special, but
Fucking prime.
it was better. It was whatever the one he does. I don't know if he does it when he films it and put it out, but he did you only go to McDonald's if you're drunk. Like drive-throughs are for drunk people.
Yeah.
Because you feel safe when you're in. Hey, can you guys stop? No, that's not gonna happen. That's the only time you feel safe if you're drunk driving. Is when you're in the McDonald's parking lot.
I don't know if he. I know he does a bit on McDonald's. I don't know if I've heard that.
Okay, yeah, he did that when we were there. I don't know if it was on his special, but dude, he fucking killed, man. It was so cool.
Yeah.
It was like when I saw Tom Segura in 2019. I saw him before he filmed his special, but the one he put out. I mean, first of all, they made him look like that girl from Drew Carey's show. With all the makeup and shit. They made him look like that bitch. They made him look like fucking John Wayne Gacy. Like, and then they put it on Netflix, which is I can't believe. Have you seen what he looks like in his newest special? Because it was great. Live, it was like, dude, he like brought the house down. And then somehow when they put it all together, I think it's because I'm realizing it's like multiple. It's a whole weekend. They film every show for a weekend, and they splice it.
Right,
For the best, because he does the same bit
to get
10 times or 8
whichever one
times.
got the best
Yeah,
laugh.
exactly.
Laugh.
Whichever one he did and liked the most. But somehow it just doesn't seem natural. Because when you see these guys, they're way funnier.
I believe it.
Than even TV.
Well, dude,
Dave
think
Chappelle
about,
was
like,
way funnier when he was just bullshitting for an hour and 30 minutes. But his specials are great. Like, don't get me wrong. But somehow when he did the trans joke, like the one where he talks about like
got all the backlash or whatever.
the dude with the heels beating the shit out of another guy, you know what I mean? Like when he did that at the Shoreline Amphitheater, there was like 30,000 people, and he went on and on that joke, and it was way funnier. And then when he did it on the special, it was trimmed to like a 3-minute little bit. Hey, come here.
Because you knew
He was probably just working shit out on the Oddball tour or whatever it was I went to. Dude, we went it was like a fucking Ozfest for comedy. It was weird.
And that sounds pretty
Flight of the Conchords was there.
No way.
Hannibal Buress. I saw Hannibal Buress at night. I saw Flight of the Conchords at night. I saw Jeff Ross, if you care about him. I was chilling with Brody Stevens for a while. It was crazy he ended up killing himself. Chris D'Elia was there. I don't like him, but he was there.
I never liked him.
Yeah, it's very like for me.
I didn't like him before the pedophilia. You know?
Right, but you know what's funny is kind of like his comedy. I always felt like was for
that age group of
teenage girls, like girls with Snapchat. You know what I mean? Like, is that tweens?
The Bieber crowd.
Yeah, I don't know why. It seemed like that was. It's kind of like if you ever watch Jake Paul video. And it's kind of like, oh, this is geared towards teenage girls. Like,
yeah.
Literally. I mean, I get he's a cute kid. His hair is brushed. Like, it's literally what it's for.
Did you use MySpace when you were...
Fuck yeah. I was on MySpace in 2004, dog.
Yeah.
You know what time it is?
Like, I think back on... Like, I look at TikTok and all that shit
Tom
now, and I'm like,
Tom from MySpace deserves so much respect.
Yeah, he, like,
he
3 years.
Hey,
sell all our data.
I'm pretty sure he sold that shit for like $1 billion or $500 million and just went to Barbados and was like, on gang.
It's okay to
He's posted like 9 tweets since. That's it.
Hell yeah.
He doesn't have a Facebook. He's just like...
I don't know. Every now and then you see...
He's probably
like,
chilling like a big booty chick.
Probably a few,
eating
dude.
rabbit stew.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, like,
posted
$500 million, like... I'm gonna have to work the
He
rest of
didn't
my
sell
life
our
and maybe
data.
live off of 500,000 that whole time. You know,
Dude.
500 million. You kick back, you fucking
Oh my
at
God.
least a couple generations of spoiled brats. You know, before you
What?
lose all that.
That's like
You'll be long gone though.
This
You
is what I
know.
was talking to my friend about. Is I was telling him how we're buying this house and we're getting it in 2 weeks, and it could easily be worth for my kids $500,000 in their pocket. I don't know what $1 million is going to be in 50 years in America. Probably
That might get them through college.
It might get them a Hyundai, a Tesla stock, and junior college books. So
half a semester at junior college.
half a semester at Wyoming State.
Have a fucking.
It might get them into UNC.
At Greeley, you gotta be. You know, I didn't realize there was a UNC other than North Carolina and shit.
Me either
you know?
until I serviced them
Dude,
at work. So I was in that bitch. I'm like, oh, okay, it's like a whole. It's like, you ever seen that? You know who Quentin Rampage Jackson is? He's a UFC
Black guy,
fighter,
right?
big black dude.
Yeah,
He's like
yeah.
really charismatic. He was in
Yeah.
the A team, but he was a UFC champion.
Yeah, he was like a.
He got famous.
He was
a
like the
while.
first big deal, or not the first. But
Right, he was one
right?
with Chuck Liddell era.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
beat
yeah.
Chuck Liddell, so
Right.
it was like he was a big deal. Well, anyways, he does. There's a video of him walking through Cat's Deli in New York, where they film a ton of Woody Allen movies. He's walking through and he's got like a plate of pastrami, and then he's looking at what else they sell, and he's like, "They got pecan pie in this motherfucker too." Shit. He's like, They got pumpkin pie up in this motherfucker too? Shit. You better get some pecan pie up in this motherfucker. And it's like, that's just what I think about. What was I saying? No, that was an example that, like, that's like the, huh? I don't know, like, cause that's like my reaction to,
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but that's my reaction to it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? I don't remember. These fucking dogs are annoying. What are we talking about, George?
It's fucking
Jesus.
Greeley, dude.
Dude.
It's
They got
horrible.
a baseball field because you're walking through that shit and you're just, I'm like, oh shit, they got a baseball team, they got a football team. Like, this is a school.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
'cause I don't know. I never really looked at
D2
it.
or something. D3.
Right. Lower than that, probably. But I never really
But it's
looked
above the CC, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just never looked at that school as, or that town as like, oh, we'll probably have a college here and be like a big town. And then when I worked there and was going through there, it was kind of like, oh shit, because then it's huge. It's fucking, have you ever been to there and like hung out? It's huge.
I don't know that I've been to Greeley, honestly.
It's
I've
huge.
done my best to avoid it.
It's a shithole, and it's a ton of industrial, and they kill cows, and they kill fucking lamb, and they just
When I first drove
frack.
here, I was
And
coming
then,
up from
like-
Denver, and like I'm like, what the fuck is that smell? And my buddy's just like, oh, that's Greeley.
Oh, you know what's fucked up is
And
when
then
I
I
first
learned what it was. Yeah.
When I first came here, it was on a visit because my friend had gone to CSU and never left. And so I'm like, I don't get it. And I get done traveling through Europe, and now I'm kind of like single, chilling, no money, just got done traveling, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And he gets like this giant bonus at work, and he calls me and is just like, yo, come to Fort Collins. So I come out here, and the first thing that happens is we get off the plane, and he picks me up, and he's like, hey, I got to do something for work. And then I'm going to take you to my house. I'm like, all right. And he takes me the back way, not I-25. We get off I-25 really quickly. And all of a sudden we're going up into like Greeley and Patterson and LaSalle and like these fucked up, all the shitty towns.
Yeah.
And then it just stinks. They're slaughtering cows like right there inside of this butcher shop. You can damn near see it at this intersection. And it's just they're fracking. And I'm like, where the fuck do you live, bro? This is where you moved and didn't leave? Like, this is the
what you
fucking
fell in love with?
spot? Like, what the fuck? And then we
Fucking
get to
West
this
Kansas.
oil field so you could drop off a Carhartt, you know? Hey! And, yeah, anyways, it's just like, I'm like, dude, this is where the fuck you live? And then I get to here, and I'm like, once you cross I-25, and you're like, you get to the Front Range, you're like, oh.
All the winds blowing
Oh.
that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh! Like,
Yeah.
and then you're going out at night, you're like, this place is lit. Like, so then I moved here pretty quickly. But if I had just gone to Greeley and up through 85, Highway 85, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I felt...
You had to drive here over the mountains, right? So you saw that before
I didn't
you got
see
here.
any of that. No? I flew here. So I didn't see any of that shit. I flew here on like a foggy day. So I didn't see nothing. Or maybe I just fell asleep. It was foggy in my head. I was high. So I didn't see no mountains, no nothing. And I get here and then when you're driving out of the airport, you can kind of see the mountains. But then all of a sudden we turned east.
Right.
And faced east, and I was like, dude, where are you taking me, bro? We're about to fall off the edge of the earth. Like, where you taking me to Tulare? We're going to North Dakota? Where the fuck are we going, dude? Like, I don't want to... And then...
on the Reds, bro.
Finally, we get to his house, and then the town he lived in, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, this place is nice.
You live here?
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, damn, fuck yeah. But if it was just Weld County, no. And then my great-grandfather was born in Weld County. He was born in Erie in 1920. And he died in 1945 of tuberculosis. Erie, Colorado. Well, it's the end of Weld County near, like, where Boulder County meets Weld County. Across I-25 on the west side.
Like, what's that town?
Meade,
Lyons, but
Meade, Erie, kind of Lyons, Louisville. Okay. Louisville's right there.
What's the one that has, like, it's kind of like...
Longmont?
Longmont, yeah.
Right. It's south of Longmont.
South there.
South of Longmont. But it's a town called Erie. There's nothing there. But that's where he was born. So I kind of knew what this place was, but I'd always known it, like, from Google as a shithole. And then I get out here, I'm like, it's a shithole.
Crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? But Larimer County's nice, and then Boulder County obviously is nice, and it's just like, oh, okay, I see why Colorado's dope, and then anywhere in the mountains.
Yeah.
But at first, dude, when we were just facing east, I was like, where the fuck, Kansas? Where the fuck are we going, bro? Like, it was just Chris Watts territory. You know what I mean? It was just these oil drums in the middle of giant fields.
Yeah.
You know who Chris Watts is?
That is a hella depressing drive up.
Dude,
Interesting. Dude.
Chris Watts is a depressing story. He's a dude who lived in, I don't know, he worked for Noble Energy, but he lived down south in Colorado, like probably like a little bit north of DIA, in a suburb out in the middle of nowhere. But he kills his wife, and so he can leave her. Kills his wife and kids, 2 daughters, and puts them in oil drums out here in Weld County. At his job site, puts the 2 kids in oil drums, and then buries the wife. And then, so he can start banging, he was banging a girl so he could leave his wife for a girl from CSU.
Yeah.
And then he gets caught, and it's crazy because all the footage is like body cam footage of them going to his house, and like him reporting them missing, and his reactions. Right. And he's watching his neighbor's Ring cam, you know, like a Ring camera.
Yeah.
He's like watching that footage.
This happened recently?
Yeah, within the last like 3 or 4 years. 4 or 5 years. Yeah, dude, he iced this chick and then put his kids in fucking strangles his daughters. His like cute twin daughters, and puts them in these oil barrels. So me and Seb, we're driving, and anytime I drive out there, I'm like, damn, is that the Chris Watts barrel? Like, is this where it happened? Because that's what you feel like. It's in the middle of fucking damn. Of course you think I can get away with it. What the fuck's coming here? A white pickup once a month? You know what I mean? Like, you could ice somebody out here. The cow's gonna tell on you? Like,
the what?
The cow? Is the cow gonna tell on me? Like, murder, did it.
Murder.
Murder.
Fucking
piece of shit.
Yeah. I do not have any concept of how shitty half of Colorado is, dude. Like, it's just flat and fucking.
Trust me, I didn't even want to buy a house in this town. We're buying a house. I was like, ugh, I don't want to raise my kids here. But I mean, like I was saying, like I'm super down to have $500,000 in a couple years, because that's kind of what I feel, dude. I feel like if we buy this and pay our mortgage and we're overwhelmed, we can't figure it out, and it's not gonna work, and we're not getting raises. It sucks. We can sell it
Yeah, you can always
and
sell it
in a
and
year,
go back to renting.
and in a year, it'll be $100,000 in our pocket to have done it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad move right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, not here.
I can't believe I'm like, I don't know. I just think about the trailer and living in a Lincoln Town car, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty lit. Like,
Yeah.
but I have a basement. Like,
Yeah.
shit's tight.
Yeah, it's a long way from the Lincoln Town car.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It's a long way to the top if you want to smoke a bowl. Isn't that School of Rock?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's so I remember one time I hung out with this chick and she was like a mega whore. And I was super overwhelmed. And
How horrid she was.
Yeah, she was just way too forward and too like sexually advanced and like I don't know. You're just like I was a goober.
Yeah,
And I didn't know what to do and like so I was just like I'll suck your titties because they're giant and I just was just like I don't know what to do and I was just like you just want to watch School of Rock and I just put on School of Rock and fucking
didn't fool around and watched it.
third based it with her the whole time and it's just like all right. I was just a fucking idiot, and I just every time I see that movie, I just think of like, God damn, what was I doing? Because you know what I mean. Like this chick was like a mega slut, and was just like looking to get banged out and get in her car and get out of there. And I'm like, let's watch a movie, and I'm not gonna bang you.
And it's School of Rock too.
It's like, School of Rock.
I mean, that movie was dope when I was in high. Like,
it is not an aphrodisiac.
Not by any means.
And I'm like, yo,
Jack Black is a fucking.
I'm gonna pop in an old Jack Black
substitute
flick.
teacher.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop in a Jack Black. You cool with it?
With a lot of kids, like
With a bunch of kids, you know. What I mean? It was the only movie I had on DVD, pretty much.
Yeah, it was one of my few.
And it's like a good movie. It's hilarious, but
and
I'm
like
only,
my Bible.
I'm only literally 17 or 18, so it's not weird that it's a bunch of high school kids because I'm not even thinking about it in that way.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it in the way of like it's a musical. About a substitute teacher who can't pay his rent. It's not an aphrodisiac. And this chick's just like, she ends up literally, I'm pretty sure she ends up a prostitute. Like, my friends were like, yo, did you ever hear about blah, blah, blah?
Oh, the one
she's on Backpage. And we're just like, everybody's got fucking screenshots. And we're just like, oh my God, dude. She's got like 6 kids by like 4 dudes. Dude, so, you know, this chick, like, literally was like, please, like, paint my insides. And I'm like, boobies.
This is where he plays AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly. This is the part where he plays Pink Floyd and tells his roommate to fuck off. And this is the part where they go listen to Stevie Nicks at the bar. Are you watching? I'm like that kid. Oh, this part's hilarious. No, why you gotta watch? Hold on.
Stop the fapping. It's distracting.
I know. It's like put your shirt on. I can't watch.
It's like, aren't your nipples like fucking raw by now?
Oh, it's so stupid, dude. I was just such an idiot. I don't know. When I watched videos of me as a kid, I'm like, damn, I had like none intelligence. That's why everyone was like, you're gonna dig ditches, pump gas, or go to prison. Like, you don't have a chance.
Dude, my shop teacher.
Adults told me that.
Dick. Yeah, he would say,
like, you don't have a chance.
Anytime some kid was like, skip
and I know why they
class
say
or something,
that.
he'd be like, somebody has to dig ditches. Like
no,
motivate us or something.
The world needs ditch diggers.
Yeah,
they used to tell me in my school, the world needs garbage men.
Yeah. Which is true,
and
not
they made
a bad
more
thing.
than
That's
any
like
teacher.
Shaming garbage men.
Yeah,
like,
they made more
for...
than any teacher there.
Yeah,
garbage man. It's a 6-figure job with a
3 months
pension
off a year.
Yeah, that's
with your students. You're just fucking sitting there growing plums. Like, what do you do?
Sitting there growing plums. Yeah, my wife's a teacher, but it's like, it's hard to defend a lot of them. It's hard to defend a lot of them. Because very few teachers love
great. There just aren't a lot of great teachers.
Yeah, a great teacher is so few and far between that they just get shit on, and it's like hard to defend them because it's like a pedophile, weirdo, loser. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I don't know, and then you find out teachers make all this money. Some teachers make like $150,000, but want more time off You know what I mean? Those teachers are just, you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
They're not they're not helping anybody.
No.
And then there's, teachers bitch about, like, they should only be a 4-day work week. Like, no one has sympathy for you. You have 3 months off. No one's going to agree to not send their kids to school 5 days a week. You know what I mean? More power to you. But, and then, I don't know. They're kind of the people that you can't, like, make fun of right now. Teachers, nurses. It's hard, but I mean, you all have a job to do. My wife, luckily, is like good at her job, cares about her job, and does her job. So I feel like if it was a meritocracy, she'd be one of the highest paid teachers in the country. But it's not. It's all based on your county and where you live and how much into the Ponzi scheme have you fed.
Yeah.
Have you fed an extra $50,000 into a master's program? Because if you don't, your pay scale's way lower.
Yeah.
It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a self-feeding Ponzi scheme. Because then teachers are going to inherently tell students they should pursue higher education. Because higher education is the only thing that got them a pay raise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very weird. It's a Ponzi scheme.
I don't think there's, like...
College is obviously useful. Otherwise, we wouldn't have...
But they definitely, like, don't care if you
anything.
fucking drop out. As long as they have a few people that they can point to and be like... I used to have this whole, like, college is a scam fucking... Because, like, I got called in to my first job interview ever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was fucking to sell Cutco knives, but they had it all, like... It was, like, some other name, you know? It was, like, Velcro or some
They
shit.
duped you?
Velcon or something.
They're like, nah.
And
This is
they're
a
like,
real job, playa.
Jackson Perry recommended you. He says you'd be a good employee. I'm like, damn, Jackson's a liar. You know, like I'm 18, no fucking job skills. And I go in there and he's like, you guys, here it is. Knives. I was like, oh, we're selling Cutco? And I already knew. I was like, young and dumb, but still fucking...
Someone...
everybody knows Cutco is a fucking scam. But I saw like 10 of my friends get scammed by them, dude. Like,
really?
They buy the... You have to like pay to have your display set.
Oh my god.
And then you go sell them. So some people can sell them because they already have rich fucking... But the guy who set it up makes most of his money off of you buying those knives. And then he dips out of town. That's what he did. He did it.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get a hold of him. His office wasn't there anymore. His office, it was like rented out space with a desk in it and some chairs for him to do his little presentation.
Jesus Christ.
But then I knew a kid that like at U of O, and he was making a shit ton of money off of it. He was one of the scammers, and I called Cutco a scam. Like I didn't know it, and I started telling this story pretty much. And he's like, actually, I work for Cutco, and it's not a scam at all. And he lived with my best friend, so I see him all the time, and he wouldn't talk to me forever. Like,
really?
He was so upset with me because like.
You called him on his bullshit. It's
And I wasn't even attacking him. I was like,
those knives suck.
They
dude.
do.
Can't. My fucking wife's.
All knives are sharp when you first buy them.
Right, my wife's coworker swears by them, and it's like, dude, these are trash knives. She doesn't listen to any chef who's ever come through and like mentored anybody.
No.
And I'm like, dude, like this is like Betty Crocker. It might as well be like, this is the equivalent of those squiggly cut arts and crafts stickers, or scissors.
Yeah, those are dope.
They're dope, but they're not. They're not good scissors.
No, they're not even squiggly.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, what? You need like if you're gonna go commercial and need like a lot of them and need them to be semi-costly but like good, you just go Swiss Army like Victorinox.
Yeah.
You can get like 10 of them.
Oh, their bread knives are like the best you can
they're
get.
the best bread knife you can get.
Yeah.
I have like 2 whole sets, 2 of them untouched.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm just like, yeah, these are great knives. They're easily resharpened. They'll
I
last
sent you,
forever. I mean, they're not as good as my Tohiros, but
yeah,
they're still great. Like,
I think I sent you a picture of that shun I bought. It was like shun premium. It was like $200.
was it a cleaver?
No, it's kind of like
A vegetable knife?
just like a
Someone sent
Japanese
me-
chef knife, you know.
Okay,
so it kind of
someone
has a
sent me
cleaver
a-
shape, but skinnier.
Someone sent me like a. Yeah, I think like it was a vegetable knife, and they're like with my new. So that's the one I remember, but I want to see yours.
I might have sent you one of like a little kiwi
All right.
cleaver.